I'm back. with the board sign of 16 is 32 minus 15 is 17. Divided by 2 is 8. 8 and 9. The last one is that one. 1, 2, 3 more. And 9. 1, 2 more. Maybe. Pum, 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 pum. Yeah. whatever this is doing. Yeah, sorry about that. My computer is almost dying because of memory use. So the streaming wasn't working very well. I think I'm just going to commit this. Now I want to remove version 0 because, well, that was the last time. It just works. So version 0 is only used in, oh, what am I saying? Well, the macro maybe is only used here. Delete version 0, which means that everything that says if version 0 can now be deleted, right? Until the next else, or probably end if. If version 0 and version 1, we can no longer compare the two. If version 1, so that is what is going to be used now. There is no more version 0. Amazing. What about version 0? Also not. What about a header that is 0? Also not. Does it compile? Yes. Let's remove everything as a 0. What? Well, that's interesting. Oh, okay. I never added it. Well, in that case, I probably should add it to the commit that I just pushed, as in missing files like crazy. And oh, I have multiple other files as well. I did a restore and I didn't restore it. It did not restore it. Yeah, this is really annoying. Why did you move data? 0.cxx. It's here. No, black to move was gone, right? So here we have 0.h and .cxx, and here we have just .h, yeah. I would say I removed it somewhere. I would say here. 11.45. Commit push. That is the missing files. And here is that one, yeah. I removed it after that push. I have to retrieve the second last commit, I think. Then it should be still there. That's just this one. So how to set master back? Why do I cannot not remember that? Unbelievable. think that's the one I want. Not sure if that moves the master branch or. Okay, let's do this one. How can those files still be added? This makes no sense whatsoever. Ouch. Yeah, I get it. I have to retrieve them now from that one thing that I just removed. Hopefully that's still my scroll back. Oh, probably not, because I have an history here. No, wait, here, this one. Get rebase. Ah, shit. Now to use the reflog. I don't know how that works. Completely messed up. I'm trying to recover from stupidity with Git. The rebase I lost, I think it was, it's a 256 of the SHA-1. What is the Git using? Just call it the hash. What's the hash of my last commit? Oh, it's probably still on remote. I did push it. My last commit. Okay, but I did push that up to the remote GitHub. It contains a few new files that I added to that commit. How can I recover those files? Yep, revlog. Okay, just git revlog. No, nothing special there. Let's do it. Attempt here. Yeah, hi, Shivai route. Trying to recover this. This one. I did it before. There's something else of course to clean up, so it must be this one. It must be that one then. I should still have that, so I should be able to do git show, for example. Add missing files. Why does a minus in front of it then? Oh, there's one remove and the rest was adding it stuff. They even messed up during that commit then. Restore the files. And you have to commit, in the example, you can restore the files you need without affecting your current branch history. Run the following command for each file you want to recover. Git checkout. Path to your file. Well, let's start at the top. But this one is gone, so we have to get that separately from somewhere. It's the first green one. Yeah, we got it back. I think. Don't get that one, but okay. I would say the header of this is missing. Yeah, it includes, but there's no 0 here. The thing has not been compiled for a long time. Classification determine. This should be called. is no header. Yeah. Oh, there is just a single header. Version 0 is here. Okay. So we have that one. And then we have the black to move data 0.h. And the wife to move data.h. And we have the black to move data 0.cxx and the white to move 0. We have everything, I think. CXX and header, board and header classification was in the classification.h. Graph, maybe that's also then. I think that was also not split up. Yeah, this is just graph.h. Version 0 is in there. Okay, I think I have everything now. But compiling, no. It's status. Hit K. Yeah, why is it not compiling? Oh, that's why. No, it's compiling. Okay, let's not do that again. Okay, recovered. No, let's remove remove it again. So git remove version 0. So it now in small steps. That was black and then white. Remaining CXX files. Remaining header files. Git remove. Now let's do these header files and these CXX files. That was the problem before as well. La-di-da. Yeah, am I going to rewrite a new version? Probably, maybe. Nah, not going to do that, I think. To go to or shoot, I don't know. Move it outside the namespace version 1, maybe. Which I'm going to regret a lot later if I ever want to write another version and then have to compare it with this one. Let's just commit it first and then maybe do it not now already. I'm pressing backspace, nothing happens. My backspace is broken. No. Whatever. Let me think what to do next. I want to at least rename all those files. One. Yeah, you can get rid of this too. I just got rid of it. Not yet. .h graph cxx graph h and the internet chess .cxx. I already had this one, I think. I did already that one. No, it's still printed. Yeah, I did it here. What was that? Fusion 1. What? There must be a version 1 that survived. Yep. Yep, so next I want to split board size up into board size X and board size Y. So I have board size in a lot of places. It's almost nothing. Board.cxx, board.h, and then in other places. Let's do the other places first. Board size. Assert has moves or board size X coordinate equals board size X, of course. Or Y coordinate is board size Y. Next. From the top. X, X, Y, Y, X, Y, X, Y. That was it. Board size equals board size. Well, I'm gonna have two of them then. Board size X and Y. X and Y. Largest get relative position. No. I think this is N, which is X. And we have here also N, which is X. And here again N. And this is sparse move, which is not highlighted for some reason. Mixi tags. Sparse move tags what? Board size. Oh, I need both. Board size X, board size Y. No, just for throws. They wouldn't even happen in reality. Board size Y. Okay. What was the problem? No writes at last change. I just wrote it. Parsed it. Oh, the other one. Run commit. Yeah, I don't know. Let's do this one again. Yep, I did all of it. So now we get just these two files, board.h itself and board.cxx, which has the most of them. The board size, sane coordinates. Am I even calling that? Okay, it's a very local thing. Yeah, okay. X, int, board size y, x, y. Oh, the coordinate bit splits into. Not really necessary. I could just take the largest of the two. Skip this one for now. No, that was all. So how many coordinate bits do we use? Just in the header file, not that much. The square is two coordinates, x and y, 2 times, yeah. Coordinate bit x plus coordinate bit y. Let's store the coordinates of a square S. That was y. And this is then x. A bit of single coordinate. Well, that has to be also X and Y then. Bit much for a single square, two coordinate square mask. That is correct. Coordinate bits. Well, clearly this is Y, isn't it? No, clearly it's X actually. Yep, that leaves this one. So let's see how that is used. Coordinate mask. I can do the first shift and then mask. Yeah, okay. So this is X. I would say coordinate coordinate mask Y should be like this one. No, why not? At least then I can show it in ASCII art a little bit more clear. Oops, mask Y, mesh. Okay. X equals this shifted coordinate bit X No, yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway. Maybe we can just shift it the other way immediately. Looks more clean, doesn't it? Available bits minus that. So which is, I don't know, one of the things that you then is left a number of ones, so this left equals coordinate bits. In this case, we shifted coordinate bits that way. That means that we get this many zeros, but maybe you get too many ones here. If I want to avoid that, then I do need two shifts. Yeah, but I think the previous one was probably better. Should I do that? So there might be zeros in front of it. They should always be zero, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, well, you never know. Maybe in the future, reserved bits, as it were. Bit mask single. Okay, was it the last thing? I think it was the last thing. Am I using this already? I'm not using it, and it was not the last thing. Coordinate mask. Yep, here. So this is now coordinate mask X. And this is first. I should first do an AND with coordinate mask Y and then shift it. Okay. Seriously, more board sizes. Flip the position. Gotta be kidding me. Flipping is no longer possible. Arg. Maybe it is impossible just inside this function though. Let's flip the board. Let's flip the position. What is XY then? That is just using namespace coordinates. So they are what they spell until we do this. So at this point X is still X, so this must be X. And then we don't know. This X could be X or Y. And here's another one. I need to swap the board sizes as well, no? La-di-da. Oh, I'm having the default coordinates here. Okay, so I'm gonna do X, comma Y, and the board size. X, comma board size Y, which then hides the statics, I hope. Standard pair. Can we just make this a tuple? Oops, no, it's not board anymore. Thought I had another swap. Only one. Only one swap. Yeah. Let's see. And then here, hopefully this compiles. And then this is that, those variables, and this also. Yeah, that should work. More stuff. Imagine having hard-coded board size. Never hard-code stuff in code, people. Always make some const expression. It would have been a near impossible task to make this change in. Now I can just grab on board size. Also a good reason to use long variable names. Yeah, we don't use a board in front of it there, then why would I do that here? Direction. Oh, wait a minute. And depends on direction, and the direction the makes well the blip depends on there, right? But there is -1 that. What is there then? No, it depends on horizontal, vertical, of course. So you can just do define board size here. Horizontal, vertical, and I need to know now what is what, of course. Well, if it is equal to 0, then we are dealing with X, apparently. So board size X. Otherwise board size Y. And then I can just use board size there, yes. And there's another one, which is apparently a Y. This one must be X. This is horizontal stuff, all of it. What is this? Also X, I think, because this is X. But it ain't used. But it will not swap it then. There's a single one, double, double. This is the only single one left. So I need that to be added here. Which means that, of course, we need to have them as well. And that should work then. Provided I don't have board in front of it in this function. Not even using it at all. Okay. It compiles. And does it work? Well, if it works, thank God. If it doesn't, then we'll never be able to find out. Why? Oh, these numbers look good, I think. Yeah. Maybe I should have written them down somewhere, but it was 30 million something, so yeah. 33, I think I remember. 448, yeah. It just works. But this is, I didn't even change anything. Just both X and Y are now 16 still. I bet this is all good. Want to move, let's say. Let's check just one of them, as in this one. M is 2 and all diagonal. Should have that in my README. This is Y to move. Okay, can also look at move Y to move. Let's first look at black to move. Black to move all diagonal here. And this is MS2. Yep. Oh, beautiful. It's exactly on the side. So how unlikely is this? So that one is good. And then we have Y to move. Let's take this one. Y to move all diagonal pieces. That was down here, I think. Or where is it? Oh, it's here. This one. Yeah, 279, 9 plus 2n, 21 and 13 plus 2n. Yep. Now then there is nothing broken yet. But do we get the same answer is because the top of the board is not being used, right? So let's say if I run this code, I just write this to a file, and it should produce the exact same thing as if I cut off the top of the board. Like as opposed to crushing. How long do I wait? Because it's waiting for a move in the end. As soon as it starts using no CPU, I guess. Which is now at least using less CPU. Oh. Yep. So that was with 16 times 16. So let's call this move troop to 16x16. And then we're going to change the y coordinate to less than 16. Let's make it 10. It's not crashing. That's nice. Or maybe it's, I don't know what happened. Maybe it should be done by now. Oh yeah. And it was super fast actually. So now this was 10 high, right? So I'm say 16 times 10. Could have done that immediately. 16 times 10 diff between 16 times 16 and 16 times 10. I don't even see the difference. Oh, there's a difference here. Oh shit. Well, that means it's wrong. Isn't it? That's impossible. Why? Then what on earth is different? Oh, it's a 13 case, so maybe it's just because it's not wide enough, you know? Like it's kind of a nonsense output anyway. But what about this one? That's only a 9, that should work. Still a difference here. Ay. But it's for MS8, which is very big, of course, yeah. So I think it works, because it works for M is 6 and less. So 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 all work. And this then runs into edge stuff again. At some point there must be a difference. So MS8 is like, yeah, a lot of change. Now these are both changed. Here's one that's changed. Here's just a single thing that changed. Man, I wish you could understand why that is the case. How can that be different? I'm going to play them both. You can play them side by side and then see what the difference is, maybe. How about that? Wouldn't that be cool? Pick one. Let's pick the one that is different with the smallest n, or the smallest numbers. Well, this is 45, pretty small. Do we have any that are small? I think at the top here that was the smallest. Just the first one, this one. That's very small, they are the smallest. So yeah, let's use this one. M is 7, although that could be that it is not wide enough. But I doubt that. I'm not sure though. I am not sure. I'm gonna. Well, there's a difference anyway. I want to see it. So we're gonna play these two side by side. One on the 16 by 16 board and the other on a 16 by 10 board. And then see why the hell it is different. And the position that belongs to this is n is 4, and then this pattern, right? Or does that not belong to that? Maybe it doesn't even belong to that. No, it does not belong to that. Let's see. No, definitely does not belong with that. Well, no, it doesn't. So I have to look for M is 7 followed by that stuff. This pattern. So a 10 by 16 board just has one row here, empty row above this. Should not make a difference. I don't understand why that would make a difference. Certainly not, since the position is not here, is it? This is the 13 one. We're talking about 4 or something, so it's somewhere here. These things are somewhere here. Oh, that's on the other side of the diagonal. Well, that is interesting, because that means that there is something weird here. Rather interesting. I think there's no bug in my program, so it's pure interesting. I can't think of any reason why it would be different. Yeah, the problem is I need to remember this with my memory. King opposites, rook there, triangle. Can I remember that? I should be able to remember that. And the coordinate of this thing is n and m minus 1. Let's try that out. Where n is, I don't know, let's fill it in like this. N and m minus 1. Thought it was like as low as 4. This was 7. What was in the first one? And I want to play this one, the NS4. And then in the 16 by 16 case it's 37. Let's do that one first. Board. N is 1, 2, 3, 4. M is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we have 37 ply. Rook F1 must be played. And that's the only move, apparently, that leads to maiden 37 ply. Holy cow. Why? And this is faster. Why? Why? It's hard to believe, is it? Okay, this is not useful. I think I want to print the whole board as well, instead of just the bottom. Printing the board happens where in board.cxx. UTF-8 art to move bool XYZ. Yeah, skip top is true. This must be folders. Do not skip the top. Okay, so we have the same position, see? 9, E9, that's what the king is, E9. But the number of ply is larger here. And despite that rook F1 is also part of it, so that's weird. But okay. Here we can play more moves, I would guess, because we have to play more, so it doesn't really matter. In other words, if on this board I play king any but rook f1, then I should get again 37 ply, because this was 39, so you do both a move, then it's 37, so I play one of the others. So let's try that. I'm gonna play king f9, first move, and then black has only one move, king e6, and now it's indeed 37. So this one is indeed 39, if you can believe that one. And then we have to start over, unfortunately. I would say that white has to give it tempo in this position, because the king is nice in the corner, and we can't move the king in that direction without giving up the rook, and we can't move the rook down without giving up the rook. So it's a nasty position, and suddenly we can do multiple moves, while this is the exact same program. What the hell? Why? What? Now it's also 39. Oh, oh fuck. Would be nice if it reproduced, you know, program like this. I was thinking uninitialized memory, but okay, back to one move. Do I want to try another one, like rook f9? Now we move the king here, let's now move the rook. Anywhere except f1. I first want to try, let's say rook to the top, or rook as high as possible. Well, taking one of those. And rook f, oh, it doesn't get any higher. King d7. Yep, now it's 37. Okay, and let's now start to play rook f1 then. Only move, rook f1. And then black has two possibilities, king d6 or 7. So it has to go there. Doesn't even matter where we go, I mean one of these. And here must play king d7. So weird. So if I play king d6 here, then it is suddenly faster. I just said, Well, that is impossible. If black goes here and it is made in 35 ply after that, then why wouldn't it be if I do that here? We're totally in the corner. There must be a mistake. Now I'm thinking about that there must be a bug. It really must be a bug. But how? And which move shall I try? Shall I try the same move, both sides, until there are different moves? Or shall I just... Yeah, we have to probably have to do that, right? In order to compare them. So I don't get it, but let's play King D7. Okay, now it's no longer possible. So this one's worse, while the best move, according to what I believe is working, is Rook E1. Rook E1 is not even mentioned here. So that's what must have be going wrong here. The things that here you have to move. You can't move this rook, which is definitely the best move. And I see that as a human, right? What happens if I play Rook E1 anyway? So now we are 3-7. Oh, 40. Prove that. Prove it. Okay, we're going to play Rook E1 here. Now, at least they agree that King C8 is the best. So let's do that. Oh! Well, no. Well, I mean, the king is maybe running to the edge of the board here. Yes. So it is the reason. That is the reason. Oh, that is the reason. Yes. What? Oh, awesome. Yeah, there is no work. Oh. Well, the thing is that if black manages to step off the vertical board, so if black reaches this edge and then manages to go to the 11th row, then the position is determined to be evaluated as a draw. While here, if you go to 11, it's not a draw yet. You know, here you have to go walk all the way to 17. So what is going to happen with the 33 ply is that the king is allowed to reach 11, and then we give mate. And here it cannot be allowed to reach 11. Therefore, we have to put in a lot of moves to stop it from doing that. So here we can play King D10. So it says move these moves. So see, the king tries to cut the king off. Well, no, it's not true. It should be doing that here. But I don't know. I'm just going to play the same move here. King D10. So if it is play here the same moves as here, then this one will end up in a draw, I think. That's the reason. Yeah, it's already a draw now. You can't stop it anymore. It even stops. Figured it out, it says. Hey, man. Man, I had a wonderful experience just now. Let's see if I can show you. Wait a minute. But look, I have this position. And here we have the same position. I line them up. Yep. See, this is the exact same position. On the 9th row is the white king, and the kings are on the e file here. But on a 16 by 16 board, it says that white can give mate in 37 ply, black to move. While if the board is smaller, so the top of the board is gone now, 11 till 16 are no longer there, at least during the calculations. And in reality, it's still an infinitely large board, but the black king cannot go here all the way there. I mean, it's now here, but well, that's the only difference. Well, none of the pieces. We can also not move the rook up here, or the white king cannot go here. This one is made in 39 ply, so it takes white one move longer, or 2 ply, to make this position on this board than it does on this board. Why? I was thinking, well, it's impossible. There must be a bug, because we have the black king cornered off already. It's cornered off. So the black is gonna go la 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 and end up in the corner. And the same thing happens here. So how the hell can the number of ply be different? Think about that. Tell me what you think. What is the reason? And maybe you can't answer it anyway. The reason is that if the black king steps off this board, so if it reaches the 11th row, then it's a draw. So if, knowing that on this board, the king is going to try to reach the 11th row here. It's going to around the king and then move up. If the rook allows that, of course. And if you do that, if you allow that with white, then you have to stop the king from reaching the 11th row. The rook must go to row 10 to stop the king. That's why it takes more moves. While here, that's not necessary. So as I will first play this one. Now you see how that works. It turns out that rook f1 is the only way to give mate in 37 ply. Any other move is 39. So by pure coincidence, you can move the rook down. And then we can go with black to d7. So we're going to walk around the king. And then we just play rook e1. We get this position, and black goes to c8. Yep, it's walking around the king. And the king goes to d10, the white king. And this is made in 32 ply, as it should, because in the beginning was 37 ply, and we just moved 5 ply now. So, well, if you have this position on that board, it's a draw. Black is going to reach 11th, can reach 11. It probably won't in this case, but okay, let's try that here. So we're going to play, I want to go up, wait a minute, I can't go up here. Yeah, I can't go up here, but if we would want to try that, I can't test it here because it just terminates the game. That's a bit stupid, actually. Maybe we should fix that. So here it calls it a draw, and then can't even figure out anymore what moves to do. But I bet the king is going here, right? So that's b9. So if we do king b9, we're going to the 11th row. Now white must play king d9, d9. Yeah, I think you can do it. If you go d9 again, then it escapes already. So even if you do the best move here, but you just can't stop black. I think you can't stop black anymore from reaching 11. The next move is going to be go here. I mean, you can put the rook on 11, but that's not allowed either. So just the next move is going to go to 10, of course. and then the move after that to 11. So there's no way you can stop the black king to go to 11. And this one counts that as a draw. That is the reason why it is different. I think it's pretty awesome. But yeah, also shows that you can't really limit the board much, unfortunately, because this is with MS7, so you need MS6 at most to for these two to be the same. So, and I was hoping to be able to make it a really small vertically. Well, it goes already wrong at 7, and I think we need at least 12 for M to be able to and maybe even more if N is larger. The king could, let's say if N is very large, so the king is over here, then it could more or less maybe do something like walk like that, and then it comes very high. I mean, it's normally wouldn't do that. It's not the best play, but if you lure it like, hey, if you reach this line, it's a draw, then it's gonna run over there. That is definitely the problem here. I think that normally a move like this is just never done. So it's never done, as in it was also not done in this case. I played it, but Rook F1 is the only move. Well, so it is being played. How on earth can that be the best move? Rook here. Shocking. Alternatively, I should not be worried with positions that are over this diagonal already. That's also silly. Let's go to the next one. The next one that failed, that is. The next one that is different. N is 6, M is 8. Yeah, yeah, M is larger than where it goes wrong. Okay. Maybe I should do... If you ignore this difference, because we don't calculate it for smaller n, for n smaller than m. Because these are most notably the same. If I start n at 8, then what happens? And n is 0 doesn't exist. That is not going to work. I can calculate them, but not print them, maybe. I just want the diff to work. The tables are still okay then, right? Actually, that's the most important thing, isn't it? All these tables are still good. Are they also still good? Still the same anyway if I do... eight here. Oops. What is that? Negative. I think we crashed. Why didn't it say so? -1. What is a draw? Yeah. Still a negative K value probably doesn't work well with using it as a... I don't know. I think I'm using a negative numbers index somewhere. But it should print to standard error in that case. Let me try that again, but then without running it to a file. You can't just quit on me. It just stops. Oh, it stops because it's the position is a draw already, immediately. Yeah, black just walks away. What is this with this position? Doesn't make any sense. Oh, I put the pieces outside of the board. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, never mind then. The -27 is of course totally wrong. So MS8 fails. MS7, is that the same still? No, there's a negative here for that position. Yeah. MS7 also fails. MS6, maybe MS6 works. One of them is not printing the whole board. Oh yeah, I'm printing the whole board while that wasn't the case before. Let's skip the top anyway then. No, everything is the same. Awesome. Finally a 32 whiteboard. And I bet that this is still the same. You can do that. You can check that. Go rather quickly by checking with the diff 32. See, this part is still the same. Awesome. Yeah, the board is different, obviously, because it's wider. Could just not print the board, I guess. And the diff would be easier to check. Everything is exactly the same except the board, so that's pretty awesome. For MS4 now, still the case. MS5. Oh, there's a difference here. What is different? Oh, that's a wow, yeah. That is jumps from to there. So that's not correct then, right? It's just at the end it goes wrong. So this is wrong. And it is also influenced by the fact that there is a line here that is a draw if the black king reaches it. We're just too close to it. So in fact, the correct thing, the correct final value is 25 plus 2n, not 27 plus 2n. Well, this value is just wrong, even though the table is not changed. So 12 is wrong, but with n equals 16. Well, for MS5 anyway, which gives, there's more space at the bottom here, so that gives black more opportunity to seek for an escape route to the draw file here. Apparently. Yeah, this is detected correctly. Both are 32 plus 2n. And here again. And again. Yeah, this one is again different. Huh? Confused. Oh, wait a minute. Now is everything different. These are all minuses. Everything is erased. And that's for MS6. This MS6 is still good. Not for this one. Yeah, if you get a sudden extension here of this, well, extension, if it goes wrong at the end, therefore this grouping is now added because something at the end went wrong, then that also influences the table itself. Although I'm not seeing the table yet, of course, the diff. But these are all errors, so that causes a lot of diff. It should have, wait a minute, 43. Yeah, if the table is not changed, then it's again the same thing actually. This is also wrong. This is the correct value. I need to change my program to get the correct value and ignore that one. table is not changed. Yeah, no. Still, bad table. Bad table. This is 13. 13, 29, 29, 29, 29, 13, 13, 13, 28. What is a good heuristic? Okay, what I think what is apparent is that the last groups they only increment by 2 every time. Well, and no 4 actually. You go here from 18 to that's 2. This one increases 4. That is possible, I guess. But then the values are very low. Very low. This one increases 2. This one is 2 times 2 is 4. 11 minus 4 is 7. So there's also a step of 4 then. This is a step of 2. There's a step of 4. I think I have to demand that there are at least 2 groups at the end where the step is 2. So I don't care that from here to there there's a huge step, or from there to there, which isn't here. In this case, let's find one that actually was a step of 4, so this one. Going from here to there is a step of 4, and then from here to there is a step of 2. And then I reject it because I want to see at least another step of 2. But this is probably an error. So in this case it's more like maybe 1 step of 2. Is this an error? That is the question. No, it's not an error, sorry. 7 is small enough. Yeah, then there's only 1 step here, 1 step of 2. Okay, maybe 1 step of 2 is enough. So here I have a step of 2, and here we have a step of 2, and in front of that also not 2 others. 2, 2. From 13 to 11 till 9 is also 2 every time. Yes, and then, no, actually the groups that are in front of it are also very small. So I think that, well, this is a very big one, 4, which I think is legal. Well, these are 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. It's way more 2 than 3, and 4 is completely out of sight. 2, 2. So here now you have one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That it's impossible that that is followed by something else. I think it's safe to say that if you have a group or larger than 4, then it's like 100% sure that that is the final value then. But on the other hand, this point walks up slowly, more or less in pace with M. So as M becomes 8 and we want to go, well, that would work. Even with a width of 16. You can still say, well, I insist that the last 5 are the same value. And then that's the one that we pick, apart from maybe the first one or something. This is an insane one, really. 14 and then plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, plus 4, plus 6, plus 4, plus 4. Holy moly. That's insane, yeah. Oh, I wish I understood why that is the case. Well, it must have to do with the large M value, obviously. But. I mean, this looks more like 4 times 4n instead of 2n. Only for very large n it becomes 2n again. I would like to know how black is doing that. Let's play this position. So that is N is 6. M is 6, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I'm gonna set N to 7, I guess. 7,6. Okay, what happened there? You suddenly have 29 million legal positions instead of 30 million. Thought it was 16 by 16. Impossible. Now everything changed. This makes no sense. Oh, it is. Sorry, it's by 32. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I don't want to play this. Sorry. Where's my phone? Okay, yeah. Little break. Where's my... be back in. I'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes. King d6 is not the best way to play. Oh, yeah, maybe it is. Then I end up in a shitty position. I'm gonna do king h5 anyway. Looks way more nasty. King g7. King h7. Why not? Why is king j7 as good as king j7? That's weird. Let's play king h7. King g5. Oh, because now we're in front of the rook, so king walks that way. Rook i6. Yeah, that would be nasty. I cannot do a rook i5 either. Okay, that's definitely annoying, yeah. Okay, let's play rook. Rook i6. King h5. King i7. Yeah, that's definitely a waste of time here. King h4. King anywhere. Just down. It's like, wow, why? Anything but rook g5. Really? Yeah, that would lose the tempo, I agree. I think the e5 is very interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay, F2 is not good. Mm. No, the king. Just the king walks to the left. So. Wanted to go to A1. Yeah, well, that was clear already. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. 33, 34, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Yeah, no, it's still not clear to me what is so problematic about this particular position. I want to try again. I think it was especially in the beginning a bit puzzling. Yeah. Basically, moving the rook this way is a waste of time if the distance to this edge is very large, larger than the distance to this edge. In this case, we're just almost on the diagonal. Almost. So it is not that clear at all. I think I'm going to try King J7. Let's walk that way. No, king goes back, I suppose, but no, it doesn't. What? You can do King F6. Wow, disrespect. King F6. Yeah, that's how it is. So I don't want to move the rook this way. I want to move the rook down. So it's just opposing the rook here. And the king is 3 files away. So you can just have the far opposition, basically. This way. Yeah. Good. Okay. It doesn't matter if we go here or there. If we go in front of my rook, we go down. And if we don't go in front of my rook, then I haven't taken the opportunity to... My rook is just in a shitty position, maybe. The rook should be over here. King I6. Still, he can do two things. Yeah, now he can also go down. So let's go down. King D5. King I5. Oh, really? I have to admit I'm not making any progress. Not much. Well, the king just walked all the way over here now. King F5. Can still taunt him. You can do this, rook goes one down, and then again to the front, and the king can't move. Or you can go G6, stopping the rook from coming down. It's also a tempo. And now the only way to make fast progress is rook A7. So, okay, now we're moving the rook very far away, apparently. It should help a little bit. But, and then that is good because, well, the king can go that way to attack the rook, but then we are on 2 files. So that would be like walking straight to the rook over a big distance. Losing 1 tempo, but for the rest then being made as the fastest way possible. And as well, we can always move the rook down until it actually gets there, the king. This king will not be in front of the rook. While if the rook goes this way and you go down, then the king might be in the way. So I think I understand. So if now I would just do this, the rook's gonna go down, right? King D5, and I do King F6, then the king is walking this way. So from here on out, it seems like pretty optimal. Unless I hit the rook, I don't want to go down. Well, I could go down, down, and then walk around the king. So the king has to do something. Okay, King G5. Yep, rook A6. King F4 or G4. Why the hell that doesn't matter, nobody knows. I think if you do this, you just move the rook down. Let me do that then. King G4. Also rook A5. King H3. Trying to escape. King G4. And now not King I2. Hello. King G3 or H4. G3 or H4. Gonna go for a more logical move. King J3, yeah, well, there's also a tempo almost then. King J3. Pretty much a horror run. King H3. And then the rook can come down, finally. King G2 is the only move. That's amazing. You have to walk diagonally out of this corner in order to be as obnoxious as possible. Why? Okay, King G2. Yeah, why would I not play King I3, not I2? That might make sense. King I3, King G3. King I2. I think it's 4N. 4. No, it's not 4. Yeah, well, no, no, it's 2N plus 2M for certain values of, I don't know, when N or M are equal, it's still it's so unclear. No. No, 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 no. Okay, what is this? King F2? Sure. I had enough of it for today again. What a beautiful night. but what can I do with it? Oh shit, you can just take it and then lose this pawn. Or push. Well, why would he push? Not sure. No, I could have taken it back, attacked the bishop, and then take that one. So, I guess not. Guess I can just take it. Oh, fuck. I thought I had a fork here. Yeah, okay. Well, no. What I was calculating, what I pushed the pawn was if the bishop comes here, I can take it. And then they played the pawn. And then he took with that pawn, and I still thought I could take it. That's nonsense. Yep, I'm going to stop for today. I'll see you people later. Have a good day.